tengo tiempo para él. No tengo tiempo para él.
Okay, this is the science of being well. I give my whole... This is the upload of the science of being well. I give my whole mind to the right way of thinking and living, so I am well. I give my whole mind to the right way of thinking and living, and so I am well. I master the principles of health. I master the principles of health. I master the science of being well. I master the science of being well. There is a principle of life in the universe, and it is the one living substance from which all things are made. This living substance is available to me. This living substance is available to me. This living substance permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the universe. This living substance permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner spaces of the universe. I am a form of the living substance. I am a form of the living substance. Principles equal source. Principle equals source. The principal source of health is in me and works all healing, which is brought into constructive activity by thinking in a certain way. The principal source of health is in me and works all healing, which is brought into constructive activity by thinking in a certain way. Allopathy, healing with remedies, drugs. Allopathy, healing with remedies, drugs. Homeopathy, healing with natural remedies. Homeopathy, healing with natural remedies. I am healthy. I am healthy. I am consciously happy. I am consciously happy. I am consciously healthy. I am consciously healthy. I have faith in self, my body, and for self. I have faith in self, my body, and for self. I have faith in self, my body, and for self. The power of healing is within me. The power of healing is within me. There is a universal principle of life. There is a universal principle of life.
Vida.
My wellness and health is based on thinking and acting in a certain way. My wellness and health is based on thinking and acting in a certain way. I believe in positive health. I believe in positive health. I have faith in myself. I have faith in myself. I have faith in prayers, affirmations. I have faith in prayers, affirmations. I always apply my faith, prayers, affirmations, and I am cured. I always apply my faith, prayers, affirmations, and I am cured. I am cured. I am healed. I am cured. I am healed. I express my certain way thinking. I express my certain way thinking. I externalize it outward in my life by acting in the same way I believe. I externalize it outward in my life by acting in the same way I believe. I act as one with perfect health. I act as one with perfect health. All things are made from one living substance. All things are made from one living substance, which in its original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner spaces of the universe. All things are made from one living substance, which in its original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner spaces of the universe. This living substance is in all, and its intelligence is in all. This living substance is in all, and its intelligence is in all. This substance creates my thought, and its method is by taking the form of that which it thinks about. This substance creates by thought, and its method is by taking the form of that which it thinks about. When I wish to create a given form, I think of motions which will produce that form. When I wish to create a given form, I think of motions which will produce that form. To create with and like the original substance, when I wish to create a given form, it takes of the motion which will produce that form. To create like with the original substance, when I wish to create a given form, thinks of the motions which will produce that form. When it wishes to create an oak tree, it thinks of the sequences of movement, perhaps extending to ages, which forms the tree. When it wishes to create an oak tree, it thinks of the sequences of movement, perhaps extending to ages, which forms the tree. The substance is chainless and was established in the beginning. My body is formed from the original substance and the result of certain motions. My body is formed from the original substance and the result of certain motions. All things created first existed as a thought. All things created first existed as a thought. My body has motions which produce, renew, and repair the body, called functions. My body has motions which produce, renew, and repair the body, called functions. The functions in my body are of two classes, voluntarily and involuntarily. The functions in my body are of two classes, voluntarily and involuntarily. I have control over the involuntary functions of my body. I have control over the involuntary functions of my body. Remember to think in a certain way. Remember to think in a certain way. My voluntary functions are eating, sleeping, breathing, and drinking. My voluntary functions are eating,
Hoy vamos a la escuela.
sleeping, breathing, and drinking. My voluntary functions are under direction of my conscious mind. My voluntary functions are under direction of my conscious mind.
Grupo. This is not
I think
my
in a
group.
certain way, and so I am healthy. I think in a certain way, and so I am healthy. I think in a certain way, and so I am healthy. I think in a certain way, and so I am healthy. I am a thinking center capable of originating thought. I am a thinking center capable of originating thought. I have only thoughts of perfect motion, perfect and healthy function, complete life. I have only thoughts of perfect motion, perfect and healthy functions, and complete life. I always think healthy and wellness. I am well. I always think healthy and wellness. I am well. I always think thoughts of perfect motion and perfect healthy functions. I always think thoughts of perfect motion and perfect healthy functions. I have a fulfilled complete life. I have a fulfilled complete life. The purpose of nature is perfection of life. The purpose of nature is perfection of life. It is the nature of me to advance toward more perfecting living. It is the nature of me to advance toward more perfect living. Seeds in a granary has life but is not living, but in the soil and it becomes active. Seeds in a granary has life but is not living, put it in the soil and it becomes active. A seed head can produce 30, 60, or 100 seeds, each having much life as the first. A seed head can produce 60, 30, or 100 seeds, each having life as the first. I live with increasing. I live with increasing. My fundamental impulse of life is to live. My fundamental impulse of life is to live. I am alive. I am alive. I live life.
País.
The universe is a great advancing life, and the purpose of nature is the advancement of life toward perfection, toward perfect functioning. The universe is a great advancing life, and the purpose of nature is the advancement of life toward perfection, toward perfect functioning. The purpose of nature is perfect health. The purpose of nature is perfect health. The power of life is within me. The power of life is within me. Always continually advance. Always continually advance. Seek to advance in your life. Seek to advance in your life. I master the art of expression. I master the art of expression. I express perfect health. I express perfect health. I express perfect wealth. I express perfect health. I express perfect hair. I express perfect real estate. Success. I seek to express my desires. I express my desires. I express myself fruitfully. I express myself fruitfully. God thinks health. God thinks health. Health is the fact of truth in the original substance. Health is the fact of truth in the original substance from which we are all formed. I think health. I think health. I have perfect thoughts of health. I have perfect thoughts of health. I release disease and its imperfections. I have perfect thoughts of health. I release disease and its imperfections. The power of life is within me. The power of life is within me. There is a thinking substance from which all things are made and which in its original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the universe. It is the life of all. There is a thinking substance from which all are made, which is in its original state, permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner spaces of the universe. It is the life of all. I am a God. I can create like God can. I am a God. I can create like God can. The thought of a form in this substance causes the form. The thought of a form in this substance causes the form. The thought of a motion produces the motion. In relation to the humanity, the thoughts of this substance are always the perfect functioning and perfect health. In relation to humanity, the thoughts of this substance are always a perfect functioning and perfect health. I am a thinking center capable of original thought. Thought has power over my own functioning. I am a thinking center capable of original thought. My thought have power over my own functioning. By thinking perfect thoughts and performing healthy voluntary functions of life, a certain way positive can assist in healing of all disease, illness. By thinking perfect thoughts and performing healthy voluntary functions of life, a certain way position can assist in healing of all desires, illness. I think of only
Semana.
perfect health. I think of only perfect health. I have
Semana.
perfect health. I have perfect health. I am a master
I'm
of thinking
leaving
of
this
perfect
week.
health. I am a master of thinking of perfect health.
Me voy esta
I am a
semana.
master of visualizing perfect health. I am a master of visualizing
Me voy
perfect health.
esta
I am a
semana.
master of eating, drinking, breathing, and sleeping in a perfectly
Me voy
healthy way.
esta semana.
I am a master of eating, drinking, breathing, and sleeping in a perfectly healthy way.
Sister.
My human body is the abiding place of an
Sistema.
energy which renews it when worn, which
Sistema.
eliminates waste or poisonous matter, and which
The
repairs the
system is
body from
broken.
healing. My human body is the
sistema
abiding
está
place of an
roto.
energy which renews it when worn, which
El
eliminates
sistema
waste
está
or
roto.
poisonous matter, and which repairs the body from
El
healing.
sistema está roto.
Alrighty. This energy is called life. This energy is called life. This
Program.
energy is called life. Life is not generated or
Programa.
produced within the body. It produces the
Programa.
body. Life is not generated or produced
This
within the
program
body. It
works.
produces the body. I have a wise conscious. I have a
Este
wise conscious.
programa
I have a wise
funciona.
subconscious. I have a wise subconscious. I have a wise
Este
superconscious.
programa
I have a wise
funciona.
superconscious. My conscious is strong. My conscious
Este
is strong.
programa
The performance
funciona.
of function does not cause life. It is life which causes function to be performed. The
Work.
performance of function does not cause life. It is
Trabajo.
life which causes functions to be formed. Life is first,
Trabajo.
function is after. Life is first, function is
I don't
after.
have work
It is
today.
life which distinguishes organic form and
Hoy no
organic
tengo
matter,
trabajo.
but it is not produced after the organization
no
of matter.
tengo trabajo.
It is life which distinguishes organic form in
Hoy no
organic
tengo
matter, but it
trabajo.
is not produced after the organization of matter. Life is the principle or force which causes
Pregunta.
organization. It builds organisms.
Pregunta.
Life is the principle or force which causes
I have a
organizations.
question.
It builds organisms. Life is the principle
una
of force. Life
pregunta.
is the principle of force inherent in
Tengo
original
una
substance. Life is
pregunta.
the principle of force inherent in
Tengo
original
una
substance.
pregunta.
All life is one. All life is one. All life is one. All life is one. The
Government.
principle of life is also the principle of health and
Gobierno.
becomes constructively active whenever a person
Gobierno.
thinks in a certain way. The principle of life
This
is also the
government is
principle
corrupt.
of health and becomes constructively
Este
active
gobierno es
whenever a
corrupto.
person thinks in a certain way. I eat, sleep, drink, think like a healthy person. I eat, sleep, drink, think like a healthy person.
Este gobierno es corrupto.
Yeah.
Este gobierno es corrupto.
I eat, drink, the universe, my external
Point.
functioning must conform to the
Punto.
thought cannot hope to be
Punto.
well if I eat, drink, breathe,
What is
and
your point
sleep
of
like
view?
a sick person. I walk, talk,
What is
and
tu
live the
punto de
life of a
vista?
person with perfect health. I walk, talk, and
What
live
es
the
tu
life of a
punto de
person with
vista?
perfect health. The universal life principle
What is
then
tu
is the
punto de
principle of
vista?
health in a human being. The universal life principle then is the principle of health in a human being. I am one with the
Noche.
original substance. I am one with the original substance.
Noche.
This substance has created from itself all the
We're going
forms
to the party
of
tonight.
organic life by thinking them or by thinking the
Vamos a la
motions and
fiesta
functions
esta
which
noche.
produce them. The substance has created from
Vamos a
itself
la
all the
fiesta
forms
esta
of
noche.
organic life by thinking them or by thinking the
Vamos a la
motions and
fiesta
functions
esta
which
noche.
produce them. The vital power is the source of all the energy there is. The vital power is the source of all the energy
House.
there is. A conscious life which
Casa.
knows all truth and has all power
Casa.
will perform functions perfectly. A conscious
lives in the
life
White
which knows
House?
all truth and has all power will
¿Quién vive en la Casa
perform
Blanca?
functions perfectly. Any thought held by
¿Quién
a
vive
person
en la
tends to
Casa
establish
Blanca?
of the corresponding condition on his
¿Quién
body.
vive en la Casa
Any thought
Blanca?
held by a person tends to establish of the corresponding condition
Water.
on his body.
Agua.
I am a form of the original substance. I am a form of the
Agua.
original substance. And has a
wanna
separate
drink
conscience
some
of
water.
his own. I am a form of the original
Quiero beber
substance
un
and
poco
has
de
a
agua.
separate conscience of his own. My conscience is
Quiero
unlimited
beber
and
un
perfect. My
poco de
conscience is
agua.
unlimited and perfect. I am a master of knowing
Quiero
what to
beber un
eat, drink,
poco de
think,
agua.
breathe, and sleep. I am a master of knowing what to eat, drink, think, sleep, and breathe.
Mom.
I eat, drink, think, breathe, sleep in a certain
Madre.
way. Eat, drink, think, breathe, sleep in a certain way.
Madre.
I live by instinct. I live by instinct. The thought of disease
live with my
produce the
mom.
form of disease. Learn to
Vivo con mi
think
madre.
health, and with original substance,
Vivo con mi
you will
madre.
form, manifest, possess, and function. Think,
Vivo con mi
be
madre.
perfect health. The thought of disease produce the form of disease. Learn to
Room.
think health, and with original substance, you will form,
Habitación.
manifest, possess, and function. Think,
Habitación.
be perfect health.
My room
I
isn't
think in a
clean.
certain way. I think in a certain way. The two essentials of
Mi
the way of faith and a
habitación
personal
no está
application
limpia.
of the faith. The two essentials of the way of faith
Mi
and a personal
habitación
application of the
no
faith.
está limpia.
I sever all mental
Mi
relations
habitación
with
no
disease.
está
I sever
limpia.
all mental relationships with all diseases and mentally unify
Dad.
themselves with health.
Padre,
I sever all mental relations with disease
Where
and
does your dad
mentally
live?
unify themselves, myself, my mind
¿dónde
with health.
vive tu padre?
The two essentials to thinking in a
¿Dónde
certain
vive tu
way
padre?
which will make you well. The two
¿Dónde
essentials
vive
to
tu padre?
thinking in a certain way which will make you well.
Area.
First, claim or appropriate
Área.
health by faith.
This area
First,
is
claim
closed.
or appropriate health by faith.
Este área
2.
está
Sever
cerrada.
all mental relationships with diseases
Este
and
área
enter into
está
mental
cerrada.
relations with health.
Este área está cerrada.
Alrighty. That which I make ourselves mentally, we become physically, and that which I unite myself mentally, I become unified with physically. All my thoughts
Money.
are a fixed
Dinero.
power on health. All
Dinero.
my thoughts are a fixed power
He
on
has a lot of
positivity. All my thoughts
tiene mucho
are a
dinero.
fixed power on wealth.
Él tiene mucho
My thoughts
dinero.
keep me well. My thoughts keep me well.
Él tiene
Fate
mucho
may
dinero.
be unconscious. Fate may be unconscious. Subconscious
Fact.
fate is sufficient to question.
Hecho.
Fate may be.
Hecho.
Okay, yeah, fate may be unconscious.
In
Subconscious fate
I don't
is
care.
sufficient to quicken the
hecho,
principle of
no me
health into
importa.
constructive activity. Subconscious
De
fate is
hecho,
sufficient to
no me
quicken the
importa.
principle of health into constructive activity.
De hecho,
My
no me
subconscious
importa.
fate is positive and rich and strong. My subconscious fate is
Story.
positive and rich and strong.
Historia.
My conscious fate is positive and rich and strong. My
Historia.
conscious fate is positive and rich and strong.
Tell
My
me a story.
superconscious fate is positive and rich and strong. My
Cuéntame una
superconscious
historia.
fate is positive and rich and
Cuéntame una
strong.
historia.
Focus on health. Focus on health. There are two main
Cuéntame una
points to
historia.
consider. There are two main points to consider. How to think with faith. How to think
A
with
lot.
faith. How to apply the thought to
Mucho.
self as to quicken the principle of
Mucho.
health into constructive activity.
I
There are
don't
two
have a
main
lot of
points
time
to
to
consider.
talk.
How to think with faith and how
No
to
tengo
apply the
mucho
thought
tiempo
to
para
self as to quicken the principles of health into constructive
tengo
activity.
mucho
My health is
tiempo
rich. My
para
health is
hablar.
rich. I am a master of thinking in a certain
No
way. I'm a
tengo
master of
mucho
thinking in a certain
tiempo
way.
para
I am a
hablar.
master of application of thoughts to quicken the principles of health. I am a master of application of thoughts to quicken the principles of
Mes.
perfect health. Okay.
Mes.
The science of being well. I master the art of the science
going
of
to
being well.
travel
I
this
master the principles of science of being
Voy a
well. I
viajar
master the
este mes.
science of being well. I master the science of being well. I master the
Voy a
science of being
viajar
well.
este mes.
I give my whole mind to the right way
Voy a
of thinking
viajar
and living, and
este
so
mes.
I am well. I give my whole mind to the right way of thinking and living, and so I am
Right.
well. I master the principles of health. I master the
Derecho.
science of being well. There is the principle of life in the
Derecho.
universe, and it is one living substance from which all
You have
things
the
are
right
made.
to
This
remain
living
silent.
substance is available to me. This living substance
Usted
permeates, penetrates, and
tiene
fills the inner
derecho
spaces of the
a
universe. I am a form
permanecer
of the
en
living
silencio.
substance. Principles equal source. The
Usted
principal source of health is
tiene
in me and
derecho
works all
a
healing, which is
permanecer
brought
en
into
silencio.
constructive activity by thinking in a
Usted
certain way.
tiene
Allopathy, healing
derecho
with remedies,
a
drugs,
permanecer
homeopathy,
en
healing with
silencio.
natural remedies. I am healthy. I am consciously happy. I am consciously healthy.
Job.
I have faith in self. I have
Trabajo.
faith in my consciousness. I have faith in my body, and I have
Trabajo.
faith in myself. The power of
She doesn't
healing
have a
is
job,
within me. The
right?
power of healing is within me. There is a universal principle
Ella
of
no
life.
tiene trabajo.
There is.
¿Verdad?
My wellness and
Ella
health
no
is based
tiene
on
trabajo,
thinking and acting in a
¿verdad?
certain way. The wellness and health is based on thinking and acting in a
Ella
certain
no
way.
tiene
I
trabajo,
believe in positive
¿verdad?
health. I have faith in myself. I have faith.
Ay.
I have faith in prayers, affirmations. I always apply with
Ojo.
faith, prayers, affirmations. I am cured. I am
Ojo.
cured. I am healed. I express my certain way
My
thinking.
eye
I
hurts.
externalize it outward in my life by acting in the
Me
same
duele
way I
el
believe.
ojo.
I act as one of my perfect health. All
Me
things are
duele
made from
el
one living
ojo.
substance, which is in its original state,
Me duele
permeates,
el
penetrates,
ojo.
and fills the inner spaces of the universe. This living substance is in all, and its intelligence is in all.
Word.
This substance creates by thoughts, and
Palabra.
its method is by thinking the form of that which it
Palabra.
thinks about, which I wish to create a given
I don't
form.
understand
I
this
think
word.
of the motions which will produce that form.
No entiendo esta palabra.
To create like or with the
No
original
entiendo esta
substance,
palabra.
when I wish to
No
create
entiendo
a
esta
given
palabra.
form, it thinks of the motions which will produce that
Oh.
form. When it wishes to create an oak tree, it thinks of the sequence
Libro.
of movement, perhaps extending
Have you
through
read this
ages,
book?
which forms the tree.
¿Has leído
The
este
substance is
libro?
chainless and was established in the beginning. My
¿Has
body is
leído
formed from the
este
original
libro?
substance and the result of certain motions. All things
¿Has
created
leído
first
este
existed
libro?
as a thought. My body has motion, which produce,
Business.
renew, and repair the body called functions. The functions in my
Negocios.
body are of two classes, voluntary and involuntary.
Negocios.
I have control over involuntary functions
He is
of
a
my body. Remember
businessman.
to think in a certain way. My voluntary functions are
hombre
eating,
de
sleeping,
negocios.
breathing, and thinking. My voluntary functions
Eres
are
un
under
hombre de
direction of my
negocios.
conscious mind.
Eres un hombre de negocios.
I think in a certain way, so I am
Issue.
healthy and wealthy. I am a thinking center
Question.
capable of originating thoughts.
Question.
I have only thoughts of perfect.
The issue is, why haven't they paid me?
I have only thoughts
La
of perfect
cuestión es,
motion,
¿por
perfect
qué no
health,
me han
function,
pagado?
complete. I always think healthy and wellness. I am when I
La
always think
cuestión
thoughts
es,
of
¿por
perfect
qué no me han
motion
pagado?
and perfect health function. I have a fulfilled,
La
complete
cuestión
life. The
es,
purpose
¿por
of
qué
nature
no
is
me han
perfection
pagado?
of life. It is the nature of me to advance toward perfect living. Seeds in a greenery has life, but
Spain.
is not living, but in the soil, and
España.
it becomes active. A seed head can produce
España.
30, 60, or 100 seeds,
This year,
each having much life
going
as
to
the first.
Spain.
I live with increasing. My fundamental
Este
impulse of
año,
life is to live.
vamos a
I am
España.
alive. I live life.
Este año,
The universe
Vamos a
is a
España.
great advancing life, and the purpose of nature is the advancement of
año,
life toward perfection,
vamos a
toward
España.
perfect functioning. The purpose of nature is perfect health. The power of life is
England.
within me. Always continually to advance.
Inglaterra.
Seek to advance in your life. I master the art of
Inglaterra.
expression. I express my
London is the
desires. I
capital of
express
England.
perfect health. I express perfect wealth. I express
Londres
myself
es la
fruitfully.
capital
God
de
thinks
Inglaterra.
health. I think health. Health is a fact of truth
Londres
in the original
es la
substance
capital
from which
de
we are all formed.
Inglaterra.
I have perfect thoughts of health.
Londres
I
es la
release
capital
disease
de
and its
Inglaterra.
imperfections. The power of life is within me. There is a thinking substance which from all things are
United
made and
States.
which in its original state permeates, penetrates,
Estados
and fills
Unidos.
the inner spaces of the universe. It is the
Los
life of all.
Estados Unidos.
I am a God and I can create like God
She lives
can.
in the U.S.
The thought of a
Ella
form
vive
in
en
a
los
substance
Estados
causes the
Unidos.
form. The thought of a motion
Ella
produces
vive en los
the
Estados
motion. In
Unidos.
relation to humanity, the thoughts of this substance
Ella
are
vive
always
en
a
los
perfect
Estados
functioning
Unidos.
and perfect health. I am a thinking center capable of original
South
thought and
America.
has power over my
América del Sur.
own functioning. By thinking
América
perfect thoughts
del
and
Sur.
performing healthy and voluntary
Argentina
functions
is
of
in
life,
South
a
America.
certain way positive can assist in healing
Argentina está
of
en
all
América del
diseases
Sur.
and illness. I think of only perfect health. I
Argentina
have
está
perfect
en
health.
América del
I
Sur.
am a master of thinking of perfect health.
Argentina
I am
está
a
en
master
América
of
del Sur.
visualizing perfect health. I am a master of living perfect
Fine.
health. I am a master of eating, drinking, and
People.
breathing and sleeping in a perfectly healthy way. My human body is the abiding place of an energy which renews
A
it
lion
when
is a
worn,
kind of animal.
which eliminates waste or poisonous
Un león
matter,
es un tipo
and
de animal.
which repairs the body from healing.
Un león es un tipo de animal.
This energy is called life. This energy is called up. Life is not generated or produced within the body. It produces the body. I have a wise conscious. I have a wise subconscious.
Head.
I have a wise superconscious.
Cabeza.
My conscious is strong. The performance of
Cabeza.
function does not cause life. It is life which
My
causes
head
function
hurts.
to be performed. Life is first function.
duele la
Its
cabeza.
function is afterward. It is life
Me
which
duele la
distinguishes
cabeza.
organic form from
Me
inorganic
duele la
matter
cabeza.
but it is not produced after the organization
House.
of matter.
Casa.
Life is the principle of force which causes organization and builds
Casa.
organism. Life is the principle of
I
force
sold my
inherent in
house.
original substance. All life is
vendido
one.
mi casa.
The principle of life is also the principle of
vendido
health and
mi casa.
becomes constructively active whenever a person
vendido mi
thinks in
casa.
a certain way.
Service. Servicio.
I eat, sleep,
Servicio.
drink
My internet service
like
is
a
slow.
healthy person.
Mi servicio de internet es lento.
My external functioning
Mi servicio
must
de
conform
internet
to the
es lento.
thought, cannot hope to be well
servicio de
if
internet
I eat,
es
drink,
lento.
breathe, and sleep like a sick person. I eat and sleep like a healthy
Friend.
person. I walk, talk, and live the life of a
Amigo.
person with perfect health. The universal
Amigo.
life principle then is the principle of health in human
John is my
being.
friend.
I am one of the original substance. This substance has
John es
created
mi
from
amigo.
itself all the forms of organic life
John
by
es
thinking
mi
them
amigo.
or by thinking thinking, the motions, and functions which
John
produce
es
them.
mi amigo.
The vital power is the source of all the energy there is. A conscious life which knows all
Power.
truth and has all power will
Poder.
perform functions perfectly. Any thought held by
Poder.
a person tends to establish all the corresponding
The president
conditions
has too
on
much
his
power.
body.
El presidente tiene
I am a
demasiado
form of
poder.
the original substance and has a separate consciousness and
El
his own.
presidente
My
tiene
conscience is
demasiado
unlimited
poder.
and perfect. I am a master
El
of knowing what to
presidente
eat,
tiene demasiado
drink,
poder.
think, breathe, and sleep. I eat, drink,
Power.
think, breathe, sleep in a certain way.
Ora.
I live by instinct.
Ora.
The thought of disease produced the form
I
of
will be home
disease.
for 2 hours.
Learn to think health and with original
Estaré
substance
en
you will
casa por
form,
2
manifest,
horas.
possess, and function. Think and be perfect health.
Estaré en casa
I
por
think in a
2
certain way.
horas.
The two essentials of the way of faith
Estaré
and
en
a
casa
personal
por 2
application
horas.
of faith. I sever all mental relations with disease and mentally unify themselves with health. The two essentials to thinking in a certain way,
Juego.
which will make you
Juego.
well. First, claim or appropriate help by
you
faith.
wanna play a
Sever and
game?
then sever all relations with disease and enter into
¿Quieres
mental
jugar un
relations
juego?
with faith.
¿Quieres jugar un juego?
That which I make ourselves mentally, we become physically, and that with which I unite myself mentally, I become unified with physically. All my thoughts are a fixed power. All my thoughts are a fixed
¿Quieres jugar un
power
juego?
on health. On health. All my thoughts are a fixed power on
And
positivity. My thoughts keep me well. My faith may
Fin.
be unconscious. Subconscious
I
faith
didn't like
is
the end of the
sufficient to
book.
quicken the principle of health
No
into
me gustó
constructive
el fin del
activity.
libro.
My subconscious faith is positive, rich,
gustó
and strong.
el
My
fin
conscious
del
faith is
libro.
positive, rich, and strong.
No me
My
gustó el fin
superconscious
del
faith
libro.
is positive, rich, and strong. Focus on health.
9.
There are two main points to consider: how to think with
Linear.
faith and how to apply the thought to self as to quicken the principles
Linear.
of health into constructive activity.
I can't
My
draw
health
a
is
straight
rich.
line.
I am a master of thinking in a certain way.
No puedo
I am a
dibujar
master
una
of
línea
application
recta.
or thought to quicken the principle of health.
No puedo dibujar una línea recta.
In order to sever
gobierno
all
es
mental
corrupto.
relations with diseases, enter into rich, positive, good relations with health. The process
Point.
of rich, positive, good mental
Punto.
relations should be of a sum.
Punto.
That's it.
What is your point of view?
My health is rich. I am
What
a
is tu
master of
punto
thinking
de
in a
vista?
certain way. I am a master of application of thought to
¿Cuál es tu
quicken
punto
the
de vista?
principles of health.
¿Cuál es tu punto de vista? Night. Noche. Noche. We are going to the party.